Here is the exact DM strip that booked me 20 to 40 business brokers per week. So that is 20 to 40 meeting per week. So this isn't just a theory, this is just not a lie. I personally use this to book over hundreds of calls myself, and I have helped 20 or 30 more business broker doing the same for their client. So let's break it down. So if you are struggling to book appointment or your DMs just keep getting ignored, chances are that your first message just sucks. I've learned this after sending 20, 40,000 cold DM per week, and it probably are totaling up to almost 100,000 DM in a month. And I've been testing everything. I know what works and I know what doesn't, and I know why. So it all come down to the three main ingredient for this. First is intro, offer, call to action, and that's it. So that is the three main component of a good message. So basically, when you send an outreach, there are multiple way you can approach this, but the first message is everything. It's like you create a YouTube video, a really good YouTube video, but you don't have a good thumbnail or a title, then people won't click on it. So when you do your first message, don't start with, "Hey, how's it going?" or like, "Oh, what how's your day has been?" Something like that. Don't do that. It will get ignored because people don't have time to be dilly-dallying with a stranger they don't know. So here's what actually worked. So first, so for the intro, so you say something that grab an attention, tell a joke, make it self-aware, or just be completely genuine. So for something that I've done for myself, it'd be like, "Hey, what's up, John? Uh, this might sound weird that I'm approaching you, but I'm approaching you for a cold message. That's just being real." Something else I do is, "Hey, this is Quan. I've I'm looking for a partnership. Would you be open to talk?" Or you can say like, "Hey, I know you probably gotten this message a million times already, but here is again. But I'm make sure that this is gonna be unique. But just hear me out." There we go. Then the next, after you create a good intro, so the intro is gonna grab the attention. You can do multiple um type of approach to this intro. The one I use most is the partnership. So hey, this is Quan. Will you be open to partnership? Sorry for the random message, something like that. So for the offer, so when you are creating an offer, you need to be clear about what result they get, and what you essentially will do for them. So just make sure that it is something that they care about. Don't be vague, just don't overthink it about. So for myself, what I've done is I help business broker get 25 new client a month, pay per show, no retainer, or I help business broker get 25 new client a month only on commission, and if it doesn't work, I will just give you my whole system for free. Something like that. Last thing is a call to action. So this call to action is fairly simple. Just open the door and just letting them in to your offer. So some general rule that I like to keep in mind is, does my call to action is simple enough where they could answer my whole question with a yes or a no? So something would be like, "Are you open for a quick chat?" They could say yes or they no. "Can I call you sometime next week?" They could say yes or could they say no. Um, or something like, can I give you a call today? Yes or no. Never say like, oh, when is the best time for me to give you a call? Because then they will spend their time thinking, and by spending their time thinking, they won't reply to you. Just never make commitment. Make something that's easy to answer, yes or no. Okay, so this is putting it all together. So the intro, the offer, and the call to action. So it's something what would sound like, hey John, I know this is random, but I help business broker get 20 to 25 new client every month with a system that I develop, and you only pay once you have gotten your qualified seller. Are you open for a chat? That would be everything putting all together with all the component combined. So next, this is what happened when they replied. So what I use is called the ACE framework. It's super powerful and it's super simple. A. So the A for ACE is always be human. Don't sound like a bot. Be casual, be real. That's why I have either myself or my VA reply. I never have a AI chatbot replying to my client because it's rigid. Because right the other day I just booked this call with a airplane company, and I was asking them about how I would upgrade my ticket. Uh, but the only thing they could do is just when I text them, all they have is an AI chatbot. Sure, it is somewhat helpful, but they just keep replying the same with the same message over and over again, no matter what question I ask them. And there's just no real connection between that. And I'm personally pissed off. Probably won't uh, contact them again through there. So be casual, be human, be real. C is control the conversation. So every message that you send should always end with a question. Keep the convo flowing. So if they ask, okay, hey, how does this really work? You say, okay, the way that this works is that we help you get clients through a system that we get. Would you be open for a chat? Always end with a question. Always try to move toward your end goal instead of just dilly dally. Just give them an answer and never reply back. E. So always, always exit negativity. So people will troll, they will just say negative thing, and that's just the part of a cold outreach. Ignore it, don't feed it. Like always, he was like, okay, how don't contact me again, I will sue you. Never contact them again, just ignore them, remove them off your list because I don't know, they're just pissed off people, I guess. It's just this is part of cold messaging. So if you something I like to just keep in mind is that if by noon, if you don't make someone mad, then you're doing something wrong. Yeah. So after you have gotten a decent enough reply, so here is what they'll reply in one of three ways. No, fuck off, stop. Just leave them alone and move on. Who are you? Or sure. So for who are you, tell them who you are, what you're here for, and qualify them. Sure, you just jump right to the qualification part and you qualify them. So here's how you would qualify a person. So this is something that I do. One of my qualification question is who are you from? So something I say is, cool, I help business broker in Nevada to help them bring qualified seller. Where are you located? Or what target business are you targeting? Who's your target audience? Those are qualification questions for you to know before you hop on an actual call with them. It's just background info, so you just kind of know. Something that I even do is because when you are in the business broker space, it kind of merged with the business advisor. So those two are not really the same niche. They sometimes do the same thing, but they don't require the same service. So I always ask, hey, are you a business broker? That's one of my qualification questions. So the second response after your qualification question often is a question. After they answer your question, they typically also will lead with a question. If not, you can keep asking them a question. So they will say one of these things. So, not interested. So that would just be an end of conversation. What's the price? And three, they will answer your question. So often people will say not interested. That's the most common. Next would be they will answer your question and then they just leave it there. And second, they'll ask, what's the price? So when it is not interested, you can just ignore them or you can reframe it. Say, okay, all good. I just saw that you were on page 8 of Google, and that's probably why your lead or your seller don't know who you are. Just wanted to help if you're open to it. So that's something that you can reframe. I see something say like, oh, all good. I just saw that your website just needed a bit of help, and it seemed that you are getting a lot of traffic on your end, but it doesn't seem that you're converting a lot from the listing on your Best Buy sell. Something like that. Or the next one will be, what's the price? So just when they ask what's the price, just give to them strike. And give it package it with values and guaranteed. So you can say, what we typically offer you is the SMS system, email system, the follow-up automation so you can the word so you can is important because that brings values so you can have your free time with your kids and the only time that you talk to your client is when they say yes or no and the cost your investment will be 3 grand and we get you the lead flowing and if it's not then we'll give you a full refund and you get to keep your whole system for free and I'll pay for your next marketing. Crazy offer, right? There you go. That will mitigate the okay, I have to pay 3 grand to I get 5 to 10 qualified client every month, all of this system, and if it doesn't work, I have the guarantee that my money will be back. On top of that, my next marketing will be paid for because I work with this guy. There we go. So once they answer your question, you can keep asking them more question with advice, and then you can move on to call to action. So for example, they say, yeah, I target businesses in Arizona, especially HVAC and plumbing. So let's take for example that your qualification question is, what's your target business? What's your target audience? To say, okay, I target HVAC and plumbing. From there, you can give them advice. Okay, I have target plumbing in Arizona in the past, and what I found working was using this system, using this specific tool. Uh, and for it to work, you gotta make sure that you follow up with them consistently because in Arizona, there's not a lot of businesses, but there's plenty of competition. So you always need to stay on top. Would you mind? So after you giving them the value, would you mind if we hop on a call for me to show you what I have in mind? So that would say yes, book them on a call. So when you do this, it gives them the values and it build authority. So they obviously know that when they hop on a call with you, they know that you know something and if this conversation turns south, they can probably get something good out of you. So this make the next step, which is taking the call, feel like an obvious step because you know what you're talking about, and they somewhat trust you because you give them a free advice without charging anything. Four, so it will be handling objections. Uh, so there are some things that you'll run into. The first, ask for your testimonials. Send them your testimonial. The more the better. Send them your references. Bonus, like if you have a website, you can say, hey, send me everything you have. I need to see if you're legit or not. That would just be them asking for your testimonial. Send them that. Send them references. Always send them extra stuff. They ask for testimonials. Send them testimonial references, and on top of that, send them a video on of people who are using this system. So it's more stuff for them to look at. Even send them your whole website if they want to. Another thing they'll ask for is they'll ask for your email to contact them to a professional email, or their website. Contact them through your professional email. Write out a professional email with all the information on there. Send it to them, and when they ask for a website, send a landing page that is tailored to their niche. So if you're targeting business brokers or business advisor, then your um, landing page should include effortless prospecting for a business broker or for B2B businesses. So that is easier for them to just kind of navigate. All right, part five, which is tips on closing the lead. So first thing first is don't take rejection too seriously. If, like I said, if no one is met by noon, then you're probably not marketing hard enough. So just stay consistent, keep it simple, be human, give values, and always end with a question. Like I said, so if you want a full system where you will be in charge of everything, then just check out my self-serving course below and get yourself the full automated automation where you can get 5 to 10 qualified seller every month. And if that course doesn't work and if you can't build a full working system, I'll pay for your next course and I'll refund everything that you have. But other than that, this is how you have created your DM script. This is how I create my DM script. These are the questions that I ask myself to create the script. These are the things that I keep in mind. So if you have any questions, just leave it below and comment. Other than that, later.